Yo, 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 what's going on, my dear sweet friends? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with guess whom? That's right, me, your host, and I hope you're doing well, friends, and I really do hope that Reece James to become Chelsea captain. He's certainly one of our own, already got two big banners, a world-class player, possibly the best right-back in the world, but a very softly spoken, understated lad. Will that be an issue? Find out in today's episode of Chelsea News. We'll also talk about some exciting stuff from Fabrizio Romano regarding a conventional, traditional number 9. What are we doing with Nkunku? Where's he going to play? You'll find out today on today's video. I sounded really bored when I said that. Let me try that again. You'll find out today. I spat on my mic. It's so gross. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking the video and subscribing. I'm glad everyone enjoyed the collaboration that I did on George Benson's channel. Me and George. Everyone was like, this is the collab I've been waiting to see. Brothers and sisters. Me and George have done countless videos together over the years. It's been a while though, and it was nice to do. Go check it out. Let's move on. Right, so before we talk about Reece James being captain, let's cite some information. Fabrizio Romano, I am getting this from CFCPYS on Twitter, an aggregator Twitter account for Chelsea News. He's saying that Christopher Nkunku is to play behind the striker at Chelsea. They are very happy with João Felix. Internally, they know they need a traditional number 9. Chelsea and Felix will decide in April, May. Felix wants guarantees he will be a starter. And you understand that, you know, he's at that point of the career. He knows he's a superstar. He needs to be a starter. And if we take what Fabrizio Romano is saying here as gospel, both Christopher Nkunku and João Felix will be playing behind a traditional number 9 that Chelsea will look to buy in the summer, whether it's a Victor Osimhen or whether Datro Fofana catches flames, or indeed they have high hopes for Armando Broja on his return. Tricky, isn't it? This could be fine. You know, who else is a number? I mean, we've got like, you know, Chukwuemeka's, Gallagher, Cassidays, these young Andre Santos, who, by the way, had his work permit rejected, is the news going round, which is a real shame because Chelsea Football Club and Graham Potter would have utilised the Brazilian U20 champion central midfielder that ended the competition, the international competition, as top goal scorer and captain of Brazil's under-20s. Real super player. Looks like we would have utilised him, maybe rotated him in the league for the rest of the season, as kind of all bets are off in terms of top 4, you know. Give the kids a chance, why not? But it's apparently he missed out by 1 point. So, you know, we still have other central midfielders. In fact, we've got quite a lot, especially with Kovacic and Kante coming back. But it is a shame because Chelsea do clearly really rate Andre Santos, and it would have been an opportunity to just rotate him in a little bit for the rest of the season. So come next season, you could be like, are you in the squad or not? But my assumption, and I would speculate here, now Andre Santos hasn't got the work visa. If that's final, I think he'll just go on loan at the end of the season, I guess. We'll have to see what happens there. But with Christopher Nkunku and João Felix, they could both be like, I don't know, like maybe Nkunku plays off a striker in a front 2 and João Felix is in behind. Because João Felix is playing a free role. That's what he wants to do. That's why he's having a lovely time at Chelsea. And you can see he's expressing himself. He's doing really beautiful technical stuff with the football. And if provided he can keep doing that, he will want to sign for Chelsea. He's comfortable seemingly in London so far. He will want to sign for Chelsea. And Christopher Nkunku will not, as far as I know in the limited minutes I've watched him for France and Leipzig, I don't think he'll want like a floaty free role. He's quite direct. He'll be wanting to go towards goal a little bit more. So maybe there's a front 2 of a traditional 9, Christopher Nkunku, and João Felix in behind. But suddenly it makes you think about, well, Madueke, Mudrik's got to play. How do we fit it all in? Crazy. You decide. Let me know in the comments how you'd fit all these players in. Ugh. Alrighty. So we want to talk about also. There's no updates on Mason Mount just yet with his contract. No, of course, it's a tricky one because he's not playing well. He's not finding a place in the team. He's been such an important player for Chelsea. There's like Nizar Kinsella of the Evening Standard wrote stuff on Mount. I screenshot a portion of his article that read this. Having been with Chelsea since the under-9s, Mount has a deep personal connection with many players, the staff, and supporters around West London. That is despite a vocal minority of fans targeting him with abuse for a sustained period, regardless of how he plays. Now, this is not people that saying they don't rate Mason Mount. This is saying the people that actively abuse him, even when he was playing well. And by the way, he was playing really well for a very long time. He has always rejected interest from other clubs. And hot dog, managers want Mason Mount. He's a manager's dream. And you might not want to hear it, guys, but this is the truth. From other clubs, while doing so, he even put his hand in his own pocket to help support the club's academy during the sanctions on Roman Abramovich. Mason Mount's like one of the lowest paid players in the squad, and he was taking. You didn't see this in headlines, but he was paid. Despite being one of the lowest paid, he was putting his own money in his pocket to support the club because he loves Chelsea. We would be friggin' stupid to lose this guy. I've just spoken about that attack of Felix and Nkunku and a strike. I don't know where Mount goes. Maybe he partners Enzo Fernandez, but we look like it's just so tough. Like, how are we going to make this squad work? Mason Mount. But let's talk about Reece James. So Matt Law has written an article on The Telegraph talking about Chelsea apparently grooming Reece James to become a captain, which is really interesting. Reece James is being groomed for a leadership role at Chelsea, with the right-back seen as a potential future captain. Right-back James returned from injury at the start of this month and is seen as a hugely important player by both Coach Graham Potter and the Chelsea owners. Chelsea Champions League defeat to Borussia Dortmund was the first game the club have lost with James playing for Potter. That's interesting. I didn't know that. With the pair, and we dominated that game as well, with the pair going 8 games unbeaten together before then. That is really interesting. How did that not come up sooner? They are aiming to secure the first victory together since December, when James suffered an injury setback, missing the World Cup. And of course we play Southampton at the Bridge tomorrow. Potter has already said that James can become a Chelsea legend, and other than regarding the 23-year-old as one of the best players in his position in the world, the club believe he can be a leader within their new look team for many years to come. There's no one better in terms of what he represents, in terms of his talent, ability, his professionalism, his drive, and just the fact how he is Chelsea. My only thing is, you hear him speak with his friends. He's great. As soon as you put a mic in front of him, he's just maybe I'm like a bit of a boomer in that sense about needing someone to put their chest down and go, "We're Chelsea," absolutely, John Terry style, or any Vincent Kompany or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like these recent skippers. Cesar Azpilicueta, look how he talks and represents the club. He's like, if you could mix Azpilicueta, the way he talks about the club, to Reece James's everything else, then make the perfect captain. Whether or not that results in taking the captaincy, or indeed vice-captaincy, remains to be seen, but he will certainly be discussed for the roles whenever the issue comes up, with the likes of N'Golo Kante signs a new contract. Azpilicueta is Chelsea's captain, with Thiago Silva taking over the vice-captaincy role after Jorginho left. That had to happen. That had to happen. Azpilicueta is likely to be allowed to leave in the summer, if he wishes. While aged 38, Silva has signed a 1-year extension to his contract that would put the Brazilian in the front of the queue to take the armband should Azpilicueta retire. Again, not one Chelsea fan, or indeed football fan, would say Thiago Silva shouldn't be captain. And he speaks a little bit of English now. Like, you saw that video of him and Reece James. He's like, "I stay, bro. I no go," after he's signed his contract. So they do talk to each other. He does know a bit of English. But he's just Thiago Silva is up there with John Terry in terms of just oozing captain material and in terms of how they hold themselves. But the long-term captaincy and leadership positions at Chelsea are up for grabs, and James is somebody that they believe at the club who could grow into the role over the next 12 to 18 months. James signed a contract till 2028 after Todd Bowley and Clearlake took over at Chelsea, and it has been noticeable that his prominence within the squad has grown since then. Not a natural communicator. This is what I'm talking about. James had previously been seen as a quiet member of the Chelsea squad, but has started to change with the England international last week, giving an extended broadcast interview which he spoke about the team and the club. But even that, he was quite quiet and shy. James used his Twitter account following the draw at West Ham to post about that Chelsea fan who was punched. He says, yeah, he doesn't condone violence. I absolutely don't condone violence either. It's good that he said that, but that Chelsea fan was in that Hammer's face, he was basically screaming, punch me, without saying it. Not that I condone it, of course. It was instructive that during Chelsea's announcement that Silva had signed an extension, where James filmed congratulating him. Yeah, that's the video I was talking about. Chelsea already believe James is capable of leading by example on the pitch. I agree. On the pitch, he's just different gravy, mate. It's just the off the pitch stuff. Therefore, there have been accusations of Chelsea lack leaders since the likes of JT, Lampard, even Cahill left the club, and James is a homegrown product who has already made himself a favourite of the fans. Indeed, bro, Thiago Silva and Reece James are the two players that this torn fan base can all rally around. The representative James played a huge part in Harry Kane's development at Tottenham Hotspur. That's interesting. With the striker not only becoming the star player for both teams, but also, of course, he's captain of England. So maybe they can make a captain out of Reece, yeah. It looks like maybe they could. Like James, Kane was not initially seen as a natural leader, but quickly grew into one for both club and country, and now is comfortable speaking on a range of different issues. Just obviously not with not great diction. That's not in the article. Just as the Tottenham fans have been doing for Kane years, Chelsea fans think James is one of their own. Two huge favourites. Yeah. Kante's been talked about as a captain. I don't think he's super shy. Mason Mount has also been viewed as potential captain for some time, but the midfield is yet to sign a new contract. Yes, indeed. I see Mason Mount as more as a captain material because of the way he speaks and the way he represents Chelsea, but Reece James is a better player than Mason Mount, I think, and I do rate Mason Mount a lot. And Reece James is more of a warrior on the pitch, although Mount gets stuck in. As soon as Mount, if he signs this deal, touch wood, and starts playing well, fans will just love him again. What do you think, though? Do you think Reece James could be a captain? Comment down below. Comment on everything I've spoken about in the video today, actually. It's very, very interesting, some of the talking points. Thank you for joining me. You're welcome to subscribe if you want to. And I love you lots. Peace.